Let's talk about the story of Hanuman. It's an incredible tale about devotion, power, and dedication that asks a really interesting question.
And really, this whole story, it all hinges on that one powerful idea. What if the most potent force in the universe isn't just raw strength, but a boundless, selfless love for a higher purpose? Let's dive into that.
So, to really get who Hanuman became, you've got to understand who he was first. A total powerhouse. His story starts with a childhood that was defined by divine origins and, well, an almost chaotic level of power.
So you've got his parents, Anjana and Kesari, and their son, Hanuman. Well, he wasn't your average kid. He was playful, sure, a little mischievous, but he also had a strength that was just otherworldly, a power that was going to shake the heavens. And this mix of, childlike innocence and just insane power, it's summed up perfectly in this one famous story. As a kid, he looks up, sees the big, round, rising sun, and thinks, hey, that looks like a tasty fruit. And so he does what any superpowered kid would do. He leaps thousands of miles into the sky to try and eat it. And wow, did that cause a stir. First, Indra, the king of the gods, sees this and bam, strikes the child down with his thunderbolt. This makes Hanuman's divine father, Vayu the wind god, so angry that he just stops the wind for the entire planet. With the world literally suffocating, the gods are like, okay, we messed up. They quickly revive young Hanuman, and to make things right, they shower him with blessings, granting him invincibility and a whole host of powers he was definitely going to need later.
But you see, all this incredible power, it was kind of wild, like a raging river with nowhere to go. But that was all about to change, in what would become the single most pivotal moment of his entire life.
And this is it, the moment that changed everything. The second Hanuman lays eyes on Lord Rama, it's like a switch flips. All that chaotic energy, all that incredible, aimless power, it suddenly had a purpose, a true north. And listen, this wasn't some slow burn. It was instantaneous. From that exact moment, Hanuman dedicated his entire life, every bit of his strength, his mind, his soul, to serving Rama. We're talking absolute 100% devotion.
And he didn't have to wait long for that devotion to be tested. When Rama's wife, Sita, gets kidnapped by the demon king Ravana, Hanuman doesn't even blink. Rama's mission is now his mission.
Now this mission, it was going to require something impossible, something no one else could even dream of doing. This was his first big test.
Okay, so to get to the enemy kingdom on the island of Lanka, he had to cross this huge ocean. So what does he do? He just uses his power, grows to the size of a mountain, and in one single spectacular leap, clears the entire ocean. Just like that.
So he lands right in the middle of the enemy's fortress. He sneaks around, finds Mata Sita, and gives her Rama's ring to let her know that help is on the way. Mission part 1, a total success.
But just finding Sita wasn't enough. Oh no. Before he left, Hanuman decided he needed to, let's just say, leave a little message for Ravana and his kingdom.
So he actually lets himself get caught. They drag him in front of Ravana, and to humiliate him, they wrap his tail in oily rags and, you guessed it, they set it on fire.
This was a very, very bad idea on their part. A huge mistake. See, they thought they were just punishing some ordinary monkey. What they'd actually done was hand a torch to a demigod.
So of course he breaks his bonds like it's nothing, and with his tail now basically a giant torch, he starts jumping from building to building, palace to tower, all across the city.
He ended up setting the entire city of Lanka on fire. He literally turned their own punishment back on them, and the whole golden city just went up in flames. Now that's sending a message.
I mean, leaping across an ocean, setting a city on fire? That's obviously incredible stuff. But that's just the physical power. The real source of his strength, what was truly at his core, that was something else entirely.
So, fast forward, the war is won, and Sita, so grateful, gives Hanuman this stunning, priceless pearl necklace. And what does he do? He takes it and starts breaking the pearls one by one with his teeth. As you can imagine, everyone is just stunned. They're looking at him like, what are you doing? Why would you destroy such an amazing gift? It just didn't make any sense to them. And his answer, this really gets to the heart of who he is. He says, I'm just checking to see if my ram is inside.
because for me, if he's not in it, it's completely worthless.
So then someone, probably trying to be clever, challenges him. They ask if Ram is inside his body. And Hanuman, to prove his point once and for all, well, he just tears open his own chest.
And right there, inside his heart, it wasn't what you'd expect. It was the living, divine image of Lord Rama and Sita, shining right there for everyone to see. This was the ultimate proof, right? His devotion wasn't just some idea, it was literally who he was, through and through. So when you look at his whole story, from this superpowered, mischievous kid to this ultimate act of faith, it leaves us with this really powerful lesson about what true strength actually is. And that's the big takeaway from Hanuman's life. Real devotion isn't about sitting around and waiting. It's about action. It's this deep understanding that selfless dedication and unwavering faith, that's the real superpower. That's the force that can make any obstacle, no matter how huge, just disappear.
Which really leaves us with one last thing to think about. Hanuman had all the power in the world, right? But it only became purposeful when he channeled it through service. So what does his story teach us about how great power finds its true meaning? Not in being kept, but in being given away.